Hello, welcome to Food Immerse, a channel where we not only teach you how to cook delicious dishes, but immerse ourselves in the history, culture, science, and beauty of food. I'm Lorraine, and I'm so excited for you to join me on this journey, exploring different cuisines, ingredients, and cooking techniques. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single delicious episode. Mushroom polenta pizzas. These little pizza bites are packed with flavor, provided by the polenta base, rich mushroom filling, and nutty Fontina cheese melted on top. You can certainly start with store-bought polenta logs, however those have a wider diameter than what we can make ourselves, and result in larger rounds that require multiple bites, a bit awkward for party fare when you have a glass in one hand. If you do want to use a store-bought polenta log, I recommend cutting the slices in half. For the mushroom filling, we make a duxelles: minced mushrooms, shallot, black pepper, breadcrumbs, and parsley, reduced to a paste and enriched with reduced cream. This intensifies the flavors, dries out any moisture, and makes assembly easy on the small polenta rounds. Duxelles is famously used in beef Wellington, and leftovers would be delicious in pasta, in an omelet, or on toast. Finally, we top with Fontina, a semi-hard cheese from Italy with a sweet and pungent flavor of butter and roasted nuts. It pairs perfectly with the polenta and mushrooms. I'm excited to show you how to make a polenta log and duxelles from scratch. Let's get cooking. To make mushroom polenta pizzas, you will need 3/4 cups polenta, 3 cups of water, salt and pepper to taste, 1 large shallot, 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 pound of fresh mushrooms. You can use any combination of white, cremini, or portobello, 1 cup heavy cream, 2½ cups of fresh breadcrumbs. You can make this yourself by cutting crust soft bread and running it through the food processor, 1 bunch Italian parsley, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and 4 ounces Fontina cheese grated. The special equipment you will need are 1 sheet pan lined with silpat mat or parchment paper, some plastic wrap for rolling the polenta, 1 pastry brush, and a food processor, which is optional for mincing the mushrooms. You can do this by hand, but if you have a food processor, it will save you a lot of time. Start the polenta by bringing 3 cups of water to a boil. Add salt to taste. I'm using 3/4 teaspoon here. Add polenta to boiling water in a slow stream while stirring constantly. This method I'm going to show you does not require continuous stirring once the polenta is stirred in. Add fresh ground black pepper to taste. Reduce heat to lowest possible setting and cover. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Stir the polenta every 5 minutes for 10 seconds. Make sure to scrape the bottom and sides well each time. This method requires close attention over about 30 minutes. It is an improvement over having to constantly stir the polenta for that long. You will notice the polenta getting thicker each time you stir it. The polenta is done when it becomes soft and smooth. This will take about 30 minutes. Taste for salt and pepper and turn off the heat. Immediately turn polenta out onto a silpat mat or parchment on a sheet pan. Use a spatula to spread polenta out into an even and smooth rectangle, roughly 1/4 to 1/2 inch thick. We want to cool it enough to put plastic over it, but keep it warm enough to shape in our next step. Place plastic wrap over polenta and use your hands to shape it into a rough log. Now flip it over onto the plastic wrap covering and remove the silpat mat or parchment. Completely wrap the plastic around the log. Shape and even out the width by rolling and evening out the polenta through the plastic. We want a diameter that will give us bite-sized rounds when we slice it. Refrigerate for at least 20 minutes and up to 2 days. Pour cream into a non-stick skillet and turn heat up to medium. Heat to just below a simmer, stirring constantly. Do not allow cream to boil. Reduce volume by half and pour into measuring cup. You should have 1/2 cup of the reduced cream. Place mushrooms in food processor. Pulse until mushrooms are finely diced. Be careful not to over-process. You do not want to turn the mushrooms into a paste. Cut the end off the shallot and cut in half lengthwise through the root. Peel both halves. Make a couple horizontal cuts and then vertical cuts about an 1/8 inch apart on each half. Cut across into mince. Run your knife through the pile to catch any big pieces. Heat non-stick skillet over medium-high heat and add butter. Once melted, add the shallots. Sweat shallots until translucent, about 2 to 3 minutes. Add mushrooms and sauté until dry. Turn heat to low and stir in breadcrumbs. Add salt and freshly ground pepper to taste. I used a 1/2 teaspoon salt here. Combine the mixture and then stir in the reduced cream. Stir in the chopped parsley. Refrigerate duxelles for 20 minutes or up to 2 days. When ready to make the mushroom polenta pizzas, preheat the broiler. Remove plastic from polenta roll and using a wet knife, cut it in half. Cut log into 1/4 inch rounds, continuing to wet your knife as needed. Lay rounds out flat on silpat or parchment-lined sheet pan. Brush tops of polenta slices with olive oil. Sprinkle with salt and freshly ground black pepper. Broil polenta on one side until brown and slightly crisp, about 3 to 5 minutes. Flip polenta rounds over so the crispy side is now on the bottom. Using 2 spoons, place about a teaspoon of the mushroom duxelles on each polenta round. If you have any leftover duxelles, save it in the refrigerator. It makes a delicious addition to hot pasta or warmed up and spread on toast. Push rounds together until they're all touching. Use the back of a spoon to flatten the tops down a bit. Sprinkle grated Fontina evenly over rounds. Place under broiler until mushrooms are very hot and cheese is melted, about 3 to 5 minutes. Use a metal spatula to separate the rounds. Sprinkle with chopped parsley and serve hot. We've selected a simple Italian cocktail to pair with our mushroom polenta pizzas, the Garibaldi. Also known as the Campari Orange, this cocktail combines bitter Campari with sweet orange juice garnished with a half orange slice. This combination cuts through the richness of the mushroom and Fontina topping, and orange and polenta are a classic pairing as found in Italy's orange polenta cake. To make one Garibaldi cocktail, you will need 1 ounce Campari, 3 ounces of fresh squeezed orange juice, enough ice to fill a rocks glass, and 1/2 slice orange for garnish. Fill a rocks glass with ice. Pour Campari over ice. Add the orange juice and stir to combine. Cut a slice off an orange, cut the slice in half, and use the half slice to garnish the drink. Thank you so much for joining Food Immerse and exploring different cuisines, ingredients, and cooking techniques. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe so you don't miss a single delicious episode. If you make this dish, I would love to hear about it in the comments or shoot me an email. Until next time, cheers to good food.